Welcome back to 3D Cars, where legends of the past come alive once more. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most iconic and unforgettable machines of the muscle car era, the 1974 Plymouth Barracuda. A car that marked the end of an era, the '74 Barracuda carried the spirit of raw American performance and rebellious design, standing as one of the final great symbols of true Detroit muscle before emissions and fuel regulations changed everything. This is the story of power, passion, and timeless style, the last stand of the Barracuda. When you first set eyes on the 1974 Barracuda, you immediately know you're looking at something special. The design is pure attitude, wide, low, and ready to strike. It carried over the E-body platform from the early 70s but evolved with subtle refinements that made it stand apart. The long hood, short rear deck, and aggressive front end screamed performance. The quad headlights sat menacingly within a split grille, while the pronounced fender lines gave the car a muscular, predatory stance. From every angle, the Barracuda looked fast, even when it wasn't moving. The rear end was equally iconic. The full-width taillight design, dual chrome exhaust tips, and the signature, CUDA, badging gave it an identity that fans still revere today. Even in an era of growing restrictions, Plymouth made sure the Barracuda retained its bold personality. Whether painted in vibrant hues like Hemi Orange, Lime Light, or Panther Pink, or finished in more understated metallic tones, the Barracuda was a car that demanded attention wherever it went. Under the hood, 1974 marked the final year of real muscle for the Barracuda before the performance curtain came down. Buyers could still choose from a range of engines that defined American horsepower. The base model came with a reliable 318 cubic inch V8, but the heart of the beast lay in the 360 V8, which replaced the legendary 340 and produced up to 245 horsepower, not outrageous by the standards of the early 70s but still plenty of muscle for its time. Paired with either a 4-speed manual transmission or TorqueFlite automatic, the 1974 Barracuda delivered the kind of driving experience that was raw, mechanical, and unfiltered. You could feel every gear shift, every vibration from the engine, and every ounce of power translated through the rear wheels. The sound alone, that deep, throaty rumble of a Mopar V8, was enough to make your heart race. Performance-wise, the Barracuda could sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 7 seconds, impressive for the time considering the new emission constraints and added weight. But this car was never just about numbers, it was about feeling. It was about the thrill of gripping that pistol grip shifter, planting your foot on the throttle, and unleashing the sound of freedom. Inside, the Barracuda offered a cockpit built for the driver. The dashboard was simple but purposeful, with round dials and gauges that gave it a sporty, race-inspired feel. Bucket seats wrapped in vinyl, optional wood-grain trim, and that unmistakable Mopar steering wheel all contributed to the driving experience. It was the kind of interior that made you feel connected to the road, minimal distractions, maximum engagement. One of the things enthusiasts loved most about the Barracuda was how customizable it was. Plymouth offered performance and appearance packages like the CUDA trim, which added sportier touches, hood scoops, racing stripes, and heavy-duty suspension upgrades. The car's balance between style and substance made it a favorite among street racers and collectors alike. Unfortunately, 1974 was also the swan song for the Barracuda. Rising fuel prices, insurance costs, and stricter emission laws spelled the end for high-performance muscle cars. Plymouth, like many automakers, had to move on to smaller, more efficient vehicles. But instead of fading away quietly, the Barracuda went out with a roar, leaving behind a legacy that has only grown stronger over the decades. Today, the 1974 Plymouth Barracuda stands as a rare and cherished collector's car. It represents the end of an era, the last of the pure, untamed American muscle machines. Restored examples can fetch high prices at auctions, especially those with original matching number engines and factory performance options. But for many, the value of the Barracuda goes far beyond dollars. It's a symbol of freedom, rebellion, and the golden age of car culture. Driving a '74 Barracuda today is like stepping into a time machine. The rumble of that V8, the mechanical feel of the steering, and the smell of gasoline remind you that this was an age before driver aids and electronics. It was a time when the car didn't just assist the driver, it demanded skill, respect, and courage. Every drive was an event, every corner a challenge, and every straightaway a thrill. The 1974 Plymouth Barracuda may have marked the end of its production run, but its legend has never died. Its influence can still be seen in modern muscle cars that chase the same spirit: bold design, big engines, and a connection between car and driver that can't be replicated by technology alone. This car was more than steel and horsepower, it was attitude, identity, and an era on wheels. And even 50 years later, when one passes by, heads still turn, hearts still race, and memories still ignite. You've been watching 3D Cars, where the legends of the past live forever. If you love the sound of classic muscle and the stories behind the icons, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more automotive history brought to life. The Plymouth Barracuda may be gone, but its spirit continues to ride eternal on the open road.